Hey guys, just wanted to do my review of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, Episode 10, The Patriot. Now, there's this public event where Daisy's being honored for, quote, undercover work. And she's clearly just not comfortable being there, especially with, everybody's cheering her on and the cameras flashing and getting hugged and getting a Medal of Honor, I think. And then while Mace is giving a speech at the podium, there's a sniper attack who tries to shoot him with an exploding bullet, which is a reference to Luke Cage. Please don't tell me anything about the series. I have not watched that yet. I haven't had the time. So, as a result, they tried. Coulson and Mace are Coulson and Mac are part of the his security detail, and they're trying to escort him out along with Talbot and Mace's PR guy Burroughs, who has a briefcase handcuffed to his wrist, and they take off with the Quinjet. And while Daisy's able to use her powers to capture the assassin and bring them back to S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, he's not willing to talk, and the team starts to suspect that it was too easy because they figured it's like how is he able to figure out what was going on. They thought they had an agent on that roof, etc. And he admits that he confirms his suspicions that he was the distraction. And plan B was, while Coulson and company are on the Quinjet, there's an explosion in which the door is blown out, and Burroughs gets sucked out of the jet, and it crashes into a forest in which the pilot's impaled with a tree branch, and Mace is insisting on going to search for Burroughs, even though Coulson and Mac point out the obvious is that he's dead. There's no point in looking for him. But they quickly figure out that he cares more about getting the contents of the briefcase rather than finding Burroughs' body. Meanwhile, they have May is still being held captive at Radcliffe's apartment, heavily sedated, and she's able to wake up from the whatever illusion or virtual reality or virtual simulation they put her through, and he tries to fight her way free, but ends up being sedated again and subdued by Ada. And it turns out it's because peaceful simulation is not what she thrives on. She has to put her in a fighting simulation in order to keep her sedated. And Ada seems to be a little pissed off that she's being criticized for killing Nathanson, the agent that was supposed to be escorting her back to Radcliffe's apartment. I think around the mid-season finale, and now he says that he's going to have to change her program and make her less lethal, and she clearly resents the fact that the LMD May is more advanced, and is able to pass for May. I mean, especially since she's not, the LMD May is not aware she's not the real May. And also, I guess it turns out the people who shot them down were ex-Hydra agents working for the Watchdogs, and they were after the contents of the briefcase, and they're using a truck with a jamming signal to make sure nobody can find them. And it turns out they snatched the transponder from the Quinjet as well. And during a scuffle when they try to get the briefcase away from the mercenaries, basically Mace opens it up. They shoot. They're basically like needle guns or vials of blue serum, and they both get. Two of the vials get destroyed. Mace gets shot in the leg, and then when they see the bullet wound and the serum, Mac and Coulson start to realize that he's not an Inhuman, and because Talbot has showed up at the S.H.I.E.L.D. base and has been stonewalling them, Simmons is able to gain access. It turned out it still had access to the Project Patriot files to learn more about what the director Mace's big secret is, and it turns out that they took a serum derived from the serum used by Daisy's father, Calvin Zabo, back in season 2, and used it to turn him into kind of like a super soldier and give him like invulnerability and super strength. And because they couldn't find an actual inhuman to lead S.H.I.E.L.D. at Coulson's suggestion, or an enhanced individual, since Captain America became a fugitive since Civil War, and so Director Mace has been taking these injections to give them just for public display, and mostly. So they have to basically, in order to get the transponder back, or at least just try to get out of the situation they're in. They're trapped in this wooden cabin. Mace has to put on his his S.H.I.E.L.D. armor and bargain with the mercenaries that he'll give up the serum. And there's this whole firefight, and basically, the only way they're found is because even though Simmons didn't want to examine Ada's head from the first model Ada, she didn't want to examine the head from the version of Ada from the last episode, so she wanted to lock it up and have it put away. Fitz still wanted to examine it to see what went wrong. But then they decided, in order to get the assassin in custody to talk, they decided to put the head in a cooler of ice and put blood around it to make it look, and talk about Simmons' time as the former Hydra agent, and how she actually, and make it look like it's a woman who Simmons actually decapitated, and he basically tells them everything. And so that's how LMD May and John and Daisy are able to come to their rescue. And during the whole fight, the LMD May gets cut in the back, and it actually bends the blades of a giant saw. And when she gets back to headquarters, when she starts to notice her exoskeleton and realize that, and starts to suspect about have suspicion about her true identity. And May says that the only reason why he went with the project is because his heroism at the Vienna bombing was just the picture that was on his desk. He basically just tripped over somebody, and a photographer took a picture thinking that he was shielding them. He tried to tell everybody the truth, but they thought he was just being modest. And so he decided to join the Project Patriot because he did genuinely believe in wanting to improve human and human relations, and humans do deserve the same rights as everyone else. And so you can tell, it was nice to see this character is kind of in a more vulnerable state, and feel a sense of shame. It kind of fleshes him out a little bit instead of just kind of being a stuck-up bureaucrat. I mean, he's just he obviously had good intentions, but of course he had to lie in order to become a hero. He feels ashamed that he became this fake hero, and it's why he's offered to resign and have Coulson take back control of S.H.I.E.L.D. But Coulson offers him a proposition in which he can continue the charade and deal with all the PR and politics, since Coulson despised that part of the job, under the condition that he takes control of field operations, and he calls the shots. So overall, I mean, it was a pretty good episode. I liked how it was, focused on Mace and making him a more sympathetic character. I'm just waiting to see how this whole LMD storyline plays out, given the previews for Tuesday. So, what do you guys think of the LMD storyline? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.